Will this work? Orientation is locked. Rotate device back. We're gonna hope that this works, man. I have no idea. That's what we're gonna do. Hold on. Switch that over too, man. You got to be 4 weeks. You guys know that. 4 weeks. There we go. Save that. Push over. See if we got this going. Hold on, guys. More technical difficulties, but welcome. We have no minutes of notice. Here we go. All right. This is basically a test right now, everybody, so bear with me. We're just doing a live test right now. Check, check, BC. All right, check, check. Hey, John Cena, what's going on? Somebody is actually up. There's no minutes of notice, so this isn't even like I gave you 10 minutes notice. We tried to give you 20 minutes notice. We had some more technical difficulties. The tube is having issues. So then I came right back with 0 minutes. So, oh, how do you guys know I was live, man? There was no minutes of notice. These must be my notification squad. Alicia Vukovic, Ray Hunt, Sir Charles, Jaredon, Reese Monet, Jamal. Guys, I appreciate it. This is wild, man. I have never encountered anything like this. For some reason, we're starting off and the tube has these locked features and I can't, once you're live, you can't undo it. So they have to fix that, man. That's on their end. So basically, this live stream is literally on 0 minutes notice. In fact, I was still in the middle of trying to do some feature setting and I just went live out of nowhere. It just took me live. I was like, wait, I'm not even ready. Oh, bro. Big Nang. I got noticed, pressed notified, but didn't get notification. I don't know what's happening, man. The tube is having issues. I'm just happy you guys are live. I could not do an upload today on the channel, like a pre-record edit. So I carved out an hour to do this. Most of you guys were going to catch this on a replay anyway, because I was only giving you 20 minutes notice. Unfortunately, it ended up being 0 minutes notice. But I appreciate it big time, guys, for those that are live in and out within the next hour. But to my replay unit, this is going to be very replay unit heavy. So to my future unit, salute. Don't worry, there was 0 minutes of notification, basically. That was wild, man. Mike, he says, I got the notification. So maybe right when I went live, you guys got it. This is wild, bro. So hopefully we don't have to do this every time we go live, man. Because I'm in horizontal format. They want me, they got me locked in vertical. It's like they always want just shorts, you know? They want to compete with the TikToks or whatever. They always want everything in vertical. And I don't want that. So I put it in horizontal and they're like, no, we want you to do a short. Well, you're going to get an hour-long live. How's that? So anyway, guys, this is the aftermath of Bash in Berlin, but we're also going to talk some other things too. I want to talk Jade Cargill, not happy with talking about AEW. Cody Rhodes asked about Mr. McMahon, and he's not happy about that. I think it's time maybe we have to just scrap the post-media scrums, you know? Hunter Hearst Helmsley tried to be like Tony Khan, literally copied Tony Khan, and it's not working, man. The talents are asked to stay longer than they should. They're being asked the most stupidest of questions, and now they're just getting irritated. I mean, I don't know if this is working, man, but I just think you should scrap the post-media scrum, concentrate on the booking for these events, man. That's what you got to do. JR9! What's up, brother? Two spot coffee, by the way. Speaking of JR9, before I read that, I forgot. I had this brewing the first time, guys, when I thought I was going live, and then we had the YouTube difficulties. And then all of a sudden we went live on the second. I have no idea. So salute. We're drinking it straight black, guys. It's one of those mornings, all right? So it's a fresh Folgers, the best part of waking up. It's Folgers in your cup. Folgers. It's in your motherfucking cup. Jer9, salute. That'll hit the spot. Pure black, straight up. Jer9 Gaming says HBK about to destroy Triple H with no mercy tonight. I hope to do a review on that, Jer9. If not, I know you have us covered anyway with the NXT No Mercy report. Because I'm pretty sure there'll be an upload tomorrow, hopefully anyway. But I hope to find time to not just catch that event tonight, but somehow do a review. It will not be live. But Jer9, yeah, I don't see how he can do any worse, man. Bash in Berlin, Jer9, there was a lot of good wrestling, right? If you're hearing in the community, oh, good wrestling, yeah, that's factual. There was a lot of good wrestling, especially if you're a little bit older like BC. They slowed it down a lot of these matches, right? You had a little bit more substance in them. It wasn't just fast-paced, flips, dives, all of that. A lot of fans may look at that as boring. I look at it as good wrestling. From top to bottom, with the exception, unfortunately, of the women's tag title match. That was not very good. But everything else had really good pro wrestling. So in that aspect, that was good. As far as the substance in totality, guys, this is exactly what we thought it was going to be. Filler matches for the double main event, right? Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes, literally a filler match. Nothing fun. Some people thought, after the match, KO is going to lose, but afterwards he's going to turn and this and that. And people were trying to get creative because we were trying to find something good out of this weird match that was made, right? I mean, he just plucked. Hunter Hearst Helmsley just plucked Kevin Owens, right? And the story is, I have nobody else. I'm just going to pick my friend. And after the match, they just hugged each other. It was a legit filler match. They just hugged each other, guys. I'm like, all right, what? Really? That was it? Just mutual respect, friendship? So the night started off with a good wrestling match, but mutual respect and no substance. And like, dude, you could have just done that at SmackDown, right? Like, you don't have to pay money for that. You wouldn't pay 30, 40, 50 bucks if this was a standalone pay-per-view. And I wouldn't even tell you to pay the $10 to get Peacock to watch Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes hug each other. But that wasn't it, right? The end of the night also ended in mutual respect. The problem with that is it's the top face and a top heel. Randy Orton and Gunther. Well, what are you doing, though? That doesn't make sense, right? Forget the fact that it is a top heel and a top face. You wouldn't see Hulk Hogan and Sergeant Slaughter after WrestleMania 7. You wouldn't see them shaking hands. The dude just ripped apart Hulk Hogan's country. A year later, at WrestleMania 8, you wouldn't see Macho Man and Ric Flair shaking hands after their title match. Ric Flair was dogging out his girl, man, Miss Elizabeth. They're not just going to shake hands, man. That's the beauty of pro wrestling. You had to see the climactic moment. Do you know what they did last night? They took Randy Orton and Gunther and they had them shake hands after their match, after Randy got choked out. And fans are just so okay with it today, right? Because the bar is so low. Vince Russo, I'm going to give you a quote on him in a little bit. And whether you like Vince Russo or not, he gave a great quote talking about how the bar is so low and nobody even cares to challenge it. So now fans today are just eating it all up. Whatever. It doesn't even matter what we get on the shows anymore. People are just going to go, well, that was an awesome event. They're not even going to question anything anymore. Why Randy and Gunther are shaking hands, and they're just like, you know what? Because it was a good wrestling match, BC, and now they respect each other. Right? But before we actually went live, there was a fucking schmuck, an AMP unit member who's just really fucking just has bad takes, usually, but this was the worst of them all. He literally was right before we went live. Thankfully, that fucking, that whole stream was botched by YouTube. But this idiot's like, basically, I don't get it. What's the problem with Randy and Gunther shaking hands, basically? Ha ha, ha ha. Right? There was like a ha ha. I don't see the problem, basically. What's the problem? Hey, unit, should I preach? Should I teach schmucks a lesson? Should I show individuals how to up the bar? Should I do it, unit? Should I put some bitches in their place with knowledge? Should I do it? Should I do it? Marie says absolutely. Target zone. Bada boom, bada bing, drop the bombs. Should I do it? All right. Schmucks who want to know what's the problem. They showed respect, basically. Well, here's the fucking problem. Here's the problem from literally less than 2 weeks ago. You guys ready for this? Let me make sure you have that a little bit amplified. Hopefully you can hear this. Why is it a problem that Gunther and Randy shook hands? Forget the fact that it's a top face and a top heel. How about this?
If anybody wonders why I'm so sure about that, Randy, let's be honest, when it really, really matters, you always screw it up. Hey, listen to me. I don't want to throw this at you like an insult because it just comes naturally to you, I feel like.
That's a heavy dig.
Because your grandfather was a screw-up.
The fuck?
Your father was a screw-up. And you, Randy Orton, you are the biggest screw-up of them all.
What's the problem, Baszler? I don't see the problem. They shook hands. It's respect, man. Baszler. BC, they had a good match and they shook hands, Baszler.
Well, the good news is you have BC to preach the facts. The good news, I am here to raise your standards for you. That's why I do this at a top level. That's the problem. That's pro wrestling. If you take it there and less than 2 weeks later, you're shaking hands, but it doesn't fit the character, something's wrong, right? This is bad creative, it's horrible booking, and it's tragic for the trajectory of everybody involved. Exactly, Ray Hunt. Maybe we grew up differently in different parts of the world. Maybe that's what it is, right? Maybe everybody is okay with being disrespected and turning a blind eye. I don't know, bro. But, wow. His grandfather is a screw-up, a failure. Your father, a failure, a screw-up. You are the biggest screw-up and failure of them all. And 2 weeks later, after being choked out, he goes up to Gunther and he says, "Can I shake your hands, man? Much respect, dude. Whew. Man, you whooped my ass, dude. I don't even care what you said about the family, dude. Much respect. I'm gonna peace out. I'm gonna hit the showers, man. Much respect, dog. Yeah, the family. Yeah. No. Dude, I don't even want a fucking a third match, bro. Much respect." That's the problem. If you're willing to overlook that, don't bring that shit to this fucking channel. That will never be allowed. I will never lower my bar or lower my standards. That will destroy pro wrestling. That is something that simply cannot happen in pro wrestling, guys. You simply cannot expose the business to that degree. You can't have the guy who is literally calling Damian and Rhea street trash looking at Randy Orton and saying that you are the biggest screw-up of them all and your family's no better. And then all of a sudden, that top heel reaches out and shakes the hand of the top face. Could you imagine Slaughter doing that, or Ric Flair at 8? Could you imagine if a heel, Stone Cold, was to just reach out and did... What about WrestleMania 13, Bret Hart and Steve Austin just shaking hands afterwards? You just wouldn't get it, man. After Kane destroys Undertaker, he wouldn't just help him up and shake his hand afterwards. It doesn't fit the storyline. It doesn't fit the story. It doesn't fit what Gunther just said to Randy. So a simple match of athletic competition shouldn't have Randy Orton and Gunther so quick to have mutual respect. Randy Orton has been in much better dragouts than that. What's the problem? I don't see the problem. It was mutual respect, basically. That's the problem. These fucking idiots don't even understand there's heels and faces, right? Wrestling always has to have that. They don't even care anymore. They're like, so, BC, it's whatever Hunter feels like booking Gunther. Sometimes he's a heel, BC, right? They try to preach to me. Sometimes Gunther's a face and sometimes he's a heel, BC. Because it's Germany, they wanted Germany to be happy. So those cheering for Randy and those cheering for Gunther would all go home happy. They shook hands, BC. This doesn't fit Gunther's character. He said, "You're all screw-ups." He calls others street trash. He's a diabolical heel. You want to, as a fan, ride that roller coaster till somebody beats him, right? I don't care if it's John Cena, WrestleMania 41. But somebody is going to take this dastardly deed out and take his title, and you're going to be there for it. But by this booking, you're making people kind of like Gunther. Oh, he's a big Teletubby. If you just tickle his belly button, he's gonna go. Hoo. He's a regular old Pillsbury Doughboy. He's a fun Teletubby. He's not a dastardly deal. He's already shaking face hands. Who needs to see the title go off of him? Fuck it. Let's just turn him face. We'll have him and Dragunov in a face versus face matchup. Yeah, John Cena will take the title off of a face at WrestleMania 41. A face Gunther. It doesn't do anything for Gunther, guys. It doesn't. They've been booking him pretty okay as a dastardly heel, calling the other faces street trash, saying the other faces are absolute screw-ups. So why would you have him just shake a top face's hand? You just tarnished Gunther. For those fans that are not willing to accept everything, that don't have our bar so low, that don't go and ask stupid questions like, I don't see the problem. Well, they shook hands because they had a good athletic bout, basically. What's the problem? The problem is, this is not collegiate wrestling. This isn't collegiate wrestling. It's not boxing where you can dap each other with your gloves afterwards. This isn't any UFC competition. This is professional wrestling. The top heel and the top face should not be shaking hands like that after the top heel just said all of that about the dude and his family. That type of disrespect, I don't know where everybody's coming from, but that type of disrespect, that don't fly. So it didn't do anything for Gunther. And guys, it didn't do anything for Randy Orton, clearly. That's not Randy Orton. Randy Orton is, what happened to the legend killer? What happened to the dude that, this guy called your whole family screw-ups? Your father's not there in that arena to defend himself. Your grandfather certainly isn't, unfortunately. You have to stand up for your family at that point. Your grandfather, your father, yourself. And how does he stand up for himself? First he gets choked out, and then afterwards he goes, mutual respect, man. Damn, you leveled my family verbally, man, and you just whooped my ass. Mutual respect. That's Randy Orton, bro? Is that really Randy Orton? That's not Randy Orton. You guys know that, man. That was so awkward. And everyone just looked past it. How that did not become a big headline, right? All you wanted to do was just... so many people just want to coddle the balls of Hunter Hearst Helmsley. I mean, just talk about how awesome the event was. Awesome? There was some good wrestling. That's where it ended. CM Punk and Drew, I feel, stole the night. The mixed tag match with Liv and Dominic, Rhea and Damian was right underneath that. Those were the two best. Worst matchup, unfortunately, was the ladies. And the double main event to start and end the night, that was good wrestling. There was no substance. Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes hugged each other, mutual respect. So it was just a filler match like we knew it was going to be. And at the end of the night, Randy Orton and Gunther just have a rematch that we saw a couple months ago. Same result. Randy Orton loses, and then they shake hands in mutual respect. That's an awesome pay-per-view? Shit, save yourself some money for $2. Go to the local bingo hall and watch 4 hours of good wrestling every single Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 3 times on Monday, they're trying to put some asses in seats. Monday night's the time for it. Local bingo halls got you set up. There's good wrestling everywhere. We spent a Saturday afternoon, and I don't know what the headline is coming out of this event, guys. What? I wouldn't go back and watch any of this again. And I know I'm not alone. I know a lot of you guys are not going to go back. Even the ones going, that was an awesome event. They're not going back and watching any of this, bro. What are you going to do? Watch Randy get choked out again? You're going to watch the mutual respect handshake? You're going to watch Kevin and KO and Cody hug it out? But I'm the only one in the community that'll just be honest. I love pro wrestling. I want to see all these companies succeed. We can't do that unless we're not helping. We have to help. We have to make sure that we raise our standards so that we get better than this. Because it's clear, there's a big portion of fans that don't care. They don't even care. So no matter what Hunter gives them, they're just going to eat it up. At this point, it's just like they honestly believe that the pro wrestling world is booming. The business is so epic. No matter what show we're getting, we should just be happy that we're getting it. And I'm the only one questioning Gunther and Randy shaking hands. That can't happen in pro wrestling, bro. There's no feud that should have the top heel and the top face shaking hands after that dude said that about his family. None. That simply cannot happen in pro wrestling. And I know Hunter Hearst Helmsley is absolutely set on just ripping back that curtain and exposing the business. I understand that. You know, he's doing these documentaries about like what went into the match at WrestleMania, you know, and that was heavily with The Rock as well, creatively to put that together. But Hunter Hearst Helmsley is more than okay with showing you, pulling back the curtain and showing you how the match is made, right? Here's the magic trick. This is how it's done. And he just showed you. It was a whole documentary about what happened, what changed, what went into creating that matchup. But then he took it another step further yesterday afternoon, and he just had the top heel and the top face shake hands after everything that was said about Randy Orton. Shake hands. It doesn't matter who's the heel. It doesn't matter who's the face. It doesn't matter what was said. It doesn't matter what we tried to give you in a storyline. At the end of the day, mutual respect, man. What an athletic bout. And this is what I call, and I've called it this from the beginning with Hunter Hearst Helmsley, I call this the mutual respect era. The mutual respect. Oh, I am. You know this, Marie. There's no time to screw around, man. Pro wrestling is never going to survive if this is what we're getting from Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Business will boom for only so long. Trust me. The numbers are showing you, the viewership is showing you that nobody really is adding on, right? We're liquidating credit cards. We're going to other countries to make it seem like everybody is raucous. And then thankfully for WWE, it's that little scale down effect. So everyone sees how raucous that overseas crowd was, so then they sell out a Raw or a SmackDown. But you're already starting to see, not every Raw and SmackDown are selling out anymore, are they? Exactly. What do you think's going to happen in 6 months, 4 months, 3 months? You're starting to see the sellouts kind of fall off. This is all going to dry up. Everybody is just so quick to say how awesome the shows are. There's nobody left to really criticize these shows the way they need to be so that we can actually get a better product. I was live with my unit. For anybody that doesn't know, man, I was live watching this event. I had some technical issues. When I finally came back live, it was the end of the match, and I was like, all right, you know what? I'll go back, see the 2 to 3 minutes that I missed with the technical difficulties, but I feel it was an okay match. I might put it into the good column, which would have gave it a 4-3 board. I thought that was pretty fair, right, guys? A 4-3 board. That event yesterday was nothing special at all. The fact that I was even considering making it 4-3, 4 goods, 3 bads. The fact that I was doing that is pretty generous. But once I saw the handshake, I should not even have a channel if I was to say that that's okay, because I'd be lying, and that would be complete BS to have Randy Orton and Gunther shake hands. I hope you guys understand, that's why we have to put so much emphasis on that, right? It's because this is something that cannot happen in pro wrestling. You guys know that, bro. You guys know something was a little off, right? When you saw Randy shake the hand of Gunther, and a lot of you guys started thinking, wait, didn't he just talk all that shit to your family? And you're so quick after just losing to him just to shake his hand, to give him that respect. Like, we all know something is just not right, but nobody wants to call Hunter Hearst Helmsley out on it. It's like Vince and Kennedy McMahon did something personally to them, and they can't get over it. So it doesn't matter who's in charge, as long as it's not Vince, let's praise the son bitch. If it's bad, let's not say it's bad. Let's just concentrate on the good. Can't do that, man. I can't do that. I'm just seeing one massive botch after another, and it's getting... This is above the Cody Rhodes not winning at WrestleMania 39 right? Or having him win a year later and not having any opponents lined up for him. This is beyond Austin Theory cashing in during a middle of a Monday Night Raw for a mid-card title and losing, and then stating it's because he didn't think he was going to beat the world champion, and then 3 months later declaring himself eligible for the Rumble. Now he has to get through 29 individuals just to get that shot that he already had with the briefcase. None of this makes sense. Why isn't Hunter thinking about this? Why is BC thinking about the logic? I shouldn't have to think more clearly than the head of creative. But then Unit, we're the bad guys because we're calling out logic and common sense. Whether you like Vince Russo or not, I do like the line that he used here. I'll give you his whole quote first of all, but the end, the line that he gave, I love this. Vince Russo recently talking about the creative of Hunter. Russo says, the whole thing with Cody Rhodes, I got to finish my story. That's a storyline? I got to finish the story. Like, that's a storyline. So what happened? You finish the story, and the minute you finish the story, they don't have an opponent for you. So now you've got to give out title matches to your friends. That's a story? No, it's not. That is horrible. It's horrible writing by wrestlers who don't know how to write. That's huge. That is what it is, he says. The bar has been so lowered that people will eat anything these days. There is no growth. WWE is in the same place as AEW in terms of moving the needle. Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite. They're not moving the needle. Horrible writing by wrestlers who don't know how to wrestle. That's Hunter Hearst Helmsley, obviously. Hunter Hearst Helmsley was great when he was working with people like William Regal and Dusty Rhodes in a place called NXT, where he had a cozy little spot on the network so there was no pressure, and he had a 1-hour television show. That's where Hunter is good at. I'll give you that, with a team. Not by himself. With a team, Hunter's good with 1 hour on something like the network. When you give him 3 hours of Monday Night Raw, he himself admitted, JR9, back me up on this if you're still here, James Shrimp Fajitas, Big Nang, he said it himself. The third hour is just so damn hard to create for, to book. But the truth is, even the second hour is. He just focused on the third hour being too difficult. But then you add 2 more hours for SmackDown. Thank you, Unit. That's not just me telling you that. Hunter said the third hour, I'm lost. Second hour, he's lost. That's pretty clear. But then you add 2 more hours on SmackDown, 3 hours every month on a PLE. The guy is lost. Look at the booking. It doesn't make sense. Heels are taking on heels. Gunther versus Bronson Reed. Chad and Sammy when they were faces, and so many more. Ricochet and Dragunov. Who does that help? Nobody. Dragunov has not been seen since, and Ricochet's in another company. BC's spitting faction, you guys know it. Heel, and top face shaking hands. After that, top heel just said, your family sucks. And Randy's like, oh, what? I said, your family sucks. Let's shake hands in mutual respect. I don't understand this booking. Vince was horrible the last 10 years. We know this. I had this channel when Vince was in charge. I've had this channel creatively for over 5 years now. I was calling out Vincent Kennedy. Trust me. This is bad on a different level. I don't even think it's confusing anymore. Just downright sabotagical. It's almost like somebody who's trying to sabotage it. I don't understand the booking. Hunter Hearst Helmsley was great with 1 hour, what was called NXT Black and Gold. Those days are done, man. And now he's got a lot more hours, and the guy's lost, and he needs a team. And unfortunately, I don't think William Regal's helping him. And unfortunately, we don't have Dusty Rhodes. But he better get a team together that can book better than this. Because a lot of fans ate that up Saturday afternoon, and they went, wow, they're shaking hands. This is so awesome, man. I just want to see a banger. I want to go on the online doohickey machine. I want to talk about the 6 stars that I gave the match. And I want to talk about how awesome of a moment it was when they kind of broke character and showed mutual respect. There's fans that will just eat that up left and right, top to bottom, beginning to end, start to finish, non-stop. And then there's fans like BC that is absolutely going to call that out for being unacceptable and inexcusable. It's inexcusable. That doesn't fit Randy's character, bro. Randy Orton's not going to, after you tapped him or passed him out, he's not going to look at you after you just said all of that about his family. He's not going to look at you and shake your hand. Gunther's calling top faces street trash, and all you are screw-ups, and now the top heel is shaking his hand. What's that going to do when somebody, a top face, takes the title from Gunther? It's going to devalue the moment, because now we're looking at Gunther like a fucking Teletubby. Oh, he does have a heart. Oh, he's shaking hands with the top faces. Randy Orton, he just has to get that legend killer back. Maybe this will be the moment to do that, BC. You needed him to shake hands with Gunther, and now he's going to have a moment of realization, a moment of clarity? Is he going to cut a promo on SmackDown going, I shook his hand, and then I thought, wait, this isn't me? See, it was part of a storyline, BC. You got to let it play out. Hunter's cooking, BC. Let him cook. Some meals take longer. If you put a turkey in the oven for Thanksgiving, BC, that turkey's not ready in an hour. You got to give it some time. This is all part of long-term storytelling, BC. No, this is part of stupid storytelling. There's no story. There wasn't from Jump 1. 3 weeks ago when Randy came from SmackDown just to talk about something that happened 2 months ago. Remember my shoulder was up? Of course you don't. Nobody talked about it. Well, can I have a title match? Motherfucker, that match there wasn't a title on the line for that match. That was to get to a title match. But there was no title on the line when you had your shoulder up. Why do you automatically jump the line and get the first chance? So there was no storyline. Then the words that they did have, Gunther absolutely shredded him and his family. And then after the match, because it's in Germany, they shake hands. Guys, no, I'm not doing it, man. I'm not doing it. So, you get people that go, what's the problem, BC? I don't understand. It was mutual respect. We see it all the time now, BC. What's the problem? Yeah, that's the problem. We see it all the time. And now it's getting to points where you're just exposing the business too much. You're not even making it fun anymore. You're devaluing the moment Gunther loses the title to a top face. Because now everyone's going to go like, I kind of like Gunther though, man. And if he loses, are we at least going to get the handshake? Andy Blake. Yep. Justine. Appreciate it. JR9. Pimp Jesus. I'm only going to... I love this. I'm just not ripping it apart. Did you see the first 3 hours of the stream? I was talking about how much I love professional wrestling and how Drew and CM Punk, it just brings back that kid again, The mixed tag match was well done. Nothing over the top, nothing I'd go back and watch, but hey, hanging out with the unit on a Saturday afternoon, I'm having a good time. I got a beverage, I'm watching wrestling with my unit. The handshake is a slap in the face to everybody. You're making it harder for people like BC to follow along with the character trajectory. I hope that makes sense. If you are okay with that handshake, much love, much respect. I wish you raised your bar a little bit more, but much respect. And if you're like BC and that has no place in wrestling, with the story that you were trying to tell anyway, with Gunther and Randy, if you're like me, you know that can never happen again in pro wrestling. That's the type of shit, if that happens on the normal, if that becomes the new norm, that's the shit that'll kill pro wrestling for sure. It's already fallen off. Nothing really moves the needle anymore. But that's the stuff, man. They're already exposing storylines. They have documentaries out about WrestleMania storylines. Look, this is how the match was made. Now we're going to absolutely tell you that this top face and this top heel, don't worry about their characters. They're peeling back the curtain and they're just going to mutual respect each other because it's like college wrestling, right? So it's like watching a collegiate battle. It's not, though. It's pro wrestling. If Randy Orton wants to RKO Gunther after the match and then take him to the outside, RKO him through the commentary, take him outside to the concrete, RKO him in Germany, RKO him on the concrete to end the show. Hey, that's fine. That fits Randy Orton. And you could come up with so much scenarios afterwards. The heel remains a top heel in the eyes of every fan. Randy still doesn't lose too much. We knew he was going to lose the match, but that's that instinct in Randy. Nobody loses anything. That's the handshake, man. That's what I'll say about it. I said enough about it in the live stream yesterday. This is the aftermath, so you guys knew I had to spend a few minutes on it. 100 on the ups. Guys, this was 0 minutes of notice. We had technical issues. YouTube just is a mess. And somehow, man, 100 on the... I guess I'm just preaching facts, and a lot of you guys are jiving with what we're talking about. I appreciate that big time. There are not enough people. I'm sure everybody was probably just talking about how an awesome event this was, right? I doubt anybody was truly talking about what is hurting, crippling professional wrestling. Mutual respect era has to stop. You cannot shake hands this much, man. It's not college wrestling. It's not college wrestling, man. JR9, appreciate you, bro. Always. I have to. Nobody else will just be honest with this, man. We're trying to help. Hunter needs the help. But there's too many individuals that are just happy with everything, man. Like, everything is awesome. It's the Lego movie. Everything is cool when you're part of the crew. Hunter can do no wrong. He's cooking. We're eating good. I can't lower my standards, guys. I guess some would look at that as an issue. Damn, BC, it would be cool if you could. You'd be a lot happier with the pro wrestling you're getting. Maybe. I can't lower my bar, guys. I can't lower my standards. I can't do it. I went through some really great eras, thankfully. The Golden Era, the Attitude Era. I even like the Ruthless Aggression Era. A lot of it, but to be honest. That may be an unpopular opinion or a hot take. I didn't mind a lot of Ruthless Aggression. Brought a lot of big stars in. A lot of good stories. Mutual Respect Era. I'm not understanding the era. I don't like the era. I believe it's killing professional wrestling. Unknown, I appreciate that big time. It's just upsetting that they would go with that and just go, you know what? Shake hands, guys. Insult everybody's intelligence. Have you guys noticed, too, that a lot of these international PLEs, a lot of the ones that are going out of the U.S., don't they seem like filler, like random matches, filler? They're not up to par. It's almost like Hunter is just like, let us take your money and then let us smack you upside your dome piece. I feel a lot of these international or overseas or just out of the U.S. PLEs are a lot of filler. They're not as exciting on paper, and coming out of it, they're just like, and then we're forced to go, I thought it was a good paper, because we all want to talk positively, right? So a lot of fans, even if they weren't excited or captivated, they're like, I thought it was a good event. I think Hunter is still cooking. You can think what you want about Vince Russo, but that line, horrible writing by wrestlers who don't know how to write, that's what it is. Whether you like Russo or not, Russo remembers when Shawn Michaels and everybody was going up to him when he was the head of creative, and they would go up to him with all these ideas, and Shawn Michaels more than anybody. And he said Hunter never had an idea. He just never had anything to offer. That's what Russo said. He would know. He was getting fucking blah, blah, blah by every wrestler. Hunter would just be off in the corner like, suck it. I already know what I got to do, boss. Are you ready? Everybody had ideas and thoughts. Hunter didn't. Hunter is good at 1 hour with a team. Give him something like NXT Black and Gold. Hey, that could be good. Let's do that. We have to get somebody in head of creative who's actually creative, guys. Not just a former wrestler who is in this position, not because he was one of the top stars back in the day. He's in this position because he was Vincent Kennedy McMahon's right hand. He was right there with Vince. And now he's head of creative. Good for him, right? In the game of life on the board, he won. He won the board game. He's the top guy. But guess what? He's not the best qualified. It's unfortunate to say that. We gave it a chance. It's been over a year, right? A couple storylines on Raw are okay. Just a couple. Judgment Day, Wyatt's is still unknown. Kind of got some weird stuff with the Wyatts going on. We want that to be top notch. Judgment Day, is there anything else big on Raw going on, guys? What else is happening on this 3-hour show that is captivating the wrestling world? Maybe you can say Judgment Day, if they keep that up. What else? Wyatt's is still unknown. Some weeks it's like, and then it's like, oh, that was it? Drew and Punk, JR9. Yep, that was the second thing. Yep. Drew and Punk, Judgment Day. They ruined the Otis-Chad Gable thing because they rushed Gable into the Wyatts, and then Otis never had a proper dismissal of Gable. That was unfortunate. Bronson Reed was fun, and then they ruined that with the Miz thing. I don't know what that was about. Then Braun came out, but then Braun and yeah, that was a good segment. I wonder if that's going to turn into something really good. But right now, they're just trying to get Bronson back to a reputable state, because you guys remember he was absolutely butchered in the booking since he debuted. So what you're seeing now is just trying to get Bronson back on the map. That's that type of booking. And then hopefully, well, we'll start to care about it. But we'll see. The verdict is out on Bronson. CM Punk for sure. Wyatt 6 is the debatable. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing... I had a whole lot of great creative, and unfortunately, we're not seeing any of it. I thought a lot of it was simplistic. So it's still out on that. New Day breakup teaser is just not fun, though. Darkman, much love and respect if it is fun for you guys. The new Xavier breaking up. It's not... I mean, that's not like, oh man, this breakup is going to be epic. Perhaps because it's 5 years too late. I don't know, man. That's not sticking. So you guys see, we're struggling, right? It's a 3-hour primetime show, and we're struggling just to get like an hour full of creative, engaging, exciting television. Just 1 hour. And this is a 3-hour show. And then you got to go to SmackDown. What's big on SmackDown, guys? Give me SmackDown, please. 2 hours, Hunter Hearst Helmsley's creative. Give me the captivating, engaging, entertaining, out of your seat television that is on Friday nights with Hunter Hearst Helmsley in charge. Can somebody tell me what's happening on SmackDown? I'm being honest, by the way. This is a good conversation about pro wrestling that we want to see get better. Nobody's ripping apart pro wrestling because we don't like it. We love it. Nobody's hate watching pro wrestling. We love it. As I told you 1,000 times in yesterday's stream. James Shrimp Fajitas, LA Knight is one of the best stars on the show. Whether Hunter waited an extra year or not to finally do something with him. But he's not engaged in anything special. You know that, James Shrimp Fajitas. He's having his 8th rematch with Santos Escobar, I believe. But I'm not just talking stars, guys, because Tiffany Stratton is a massive star on Friday nights and in the whole company in totality. But I'm talking about what storyline on SmackDown is making you go, Hunter's cooking. James Shrimp Fajitas, I know it was sarcasm. No, I know, bro. But a lot of people are going to think, well, who's the best stars, right? Tiffany Stratton, LA Knight. But that's not telling us storylines and what's really getting us. Yeah, Jordan, that's funny, bro. But Andrade and Mello are putting on bangers, basically. JJ, I'm just seeing a lot of nothing. I mean, I'm generally asking, like, what's getting us captivated on Friday nights? And you guys are like drawing a blank. Sir Charles, Mikey says 0. JJ Bulldog is just naming wrestlers like LA Knight, Tiffany, right? Roman Reigns. We're just going to yell out wrestlers. We don't know. There is nothing. Jacob Fatu says Gruss 512. We're just naming wrestlers. We're not talking about engaging storylines that are captivating. We're not. There's thoughts, right? Like, oh, when Jacob Fatu and Roman face each other. Whoa. That's not a storyline right now, man. The bootleg bloodline is just so bad right now. And the ratings went down to 205, in case you're wondering. This isn't just BC and the unit saying this. In case you guys are wondering, the rating is 49,000 viewers away from going under 2 million. That'll be the lowest in show history, I believe, without any preemption or anything like that. In fact, this past week was the lowest since June a few months ago. So that's showing you guys, like, even the, like, casual fans or just fans that are, like, down for anything, they're like, deuces, ooses, I can do something else. Well, that's what I'm saying. DB for life. Thank you. That's the point I'm trying to make, right? They have nothing creatively. Well, who's the head of creative? It's Hunter Hearst Helmsley. HHH. So, while everybody is just willing to just let this guy slide, it's like we want to see everything succeed. We want him to succeed. I put the dude on a pedestal and praise him when some good stuff happens, but when you have 5 hours of television and we're just trying to come up with some good stories, your whole 3 hours should have majority of good stories. You're going to have filler, okay. You're going to have things that are not going to have so much substance, I get it, but at least have a ratio of 60%, 40%. But to have 20 or 30% to 70% nothing on a Monday night, that's unacceptable. That's inexcusable, unacceptable. To have 2 hours of absolutely nothing on Friday nights, unacceptable. And it's only, if you notice, when we actually like put this into, it's only when we put this into conversation like this, right? Because we all love pro wrestling, we want to get better, so we have a good conversation about it. It's only then when we bring up these facts where people go, oh, wow, I never thought of it like that, BC. Right? Like even people that truly thought Triple H is cooking, right? But then they hear the facts and they're like, whoa, I never... Right? That's not putting a spin on anything. That's not creating our own narrative. We just went over 5 hours of television every Monday and Friday, and there's not a lot to be excited about. And then people jump to the conclusion that HHH is on fire. And that he has electrified the business and he's cooking and we're eating good. So then a lot of fans are like, damn, BC, I never thought of that. I guess he's not cooking that much. I guess he's just microwaving some meals. Prime Killer, what will Lucha Bros do in WWE or add to WWE? Well, you know Hunter's going to have him right in there with the LWO and the LDF because it's Lucha Bros and it's LWO and it's LD. I mean, that's his type of booking, bro. That's what he does, right? It's so simplistic, and then it somehow turns into a realm where it just doesn't even make sense. But it's just like, oh, Asuka, Io, Kari, you're all from Japan. You must be in Damage Control. Bobby Lashley, you go with the Street Profits, cause, well, you're black. Odyssey, yeah, we don't have Big E, but can you go with the New Day, because you're, well, black. LWO, anybody who's fucking... Anybody that would seemably go right with the LWO or the LDF. Oh, you gotta go to the LWO or LDF. We'll flip a coin and you go to which one, deal? Lucha Bros are like, we don't want it. We want to just be, we don't want our, like, what we are to, like, we don't want that to place us in a hole or a box. Well, that's too bad. You have to go to the LWO or the LDF. You can't break the system. I mean, that's how stupid it's getting, man. Like, when you just originally just see something just based on what they are, you're doing some simplistic bullshit. You got to see people for individuals, bro. That's the only time you're going to get the best out of it in them. So, here we are, man. The handshake that ended the event. If we keep doing that in the future, trust me when I say, that's going to be one of the biggest nails in the coffin of pro wrestling. That's going to be one of the things that literally just destroys pro wrestling to the point where it's going to be so hard to bounce back from it. What we saw to end this event, that simply cannot happen in pro wrestling. You started the night with Kevin Owens and Cody being exactly what we thought it was. A filler. Good match, but a filler. Post-match, they hugged it out, mutual respect. You ended the main event, the event with Gunther and Randy, just like we thought it was going to be. It was a filler match. Randy just loses again, and then they show mutual respect and shake each other's hand. I'm surprised they didn't hug it out. And you want me to say that this was a great event? CM Punk and Drew in the mixed tag match, they tried to save it, but there wasn't enough. And then the tag team championship match for the ladies, that was unfortunate. And that's just more bad creative by HHH. It's just bad creative. Just because you're going to Scotland, you can't pluck Alba and Isla from obscurity in catering when you chose to book them that way. And now all of a sudden you're in a panic because it's Scotland and you're like, get Alba and Isla. But sir, they're eating the triple layered moose cake. It just came out fresh from catering. I don't care if they're eating the moose cake. Get them now. I need them in Scotland to win titles. And then they won the titles and there was nothing. Guys, did you see the booking of Alba and Isla since they won the titles in the last 2 months? JR9, I know you did. There was nothing. Nothing memorable. Nothing you're going to go back and watch. Nothing you can even think about with their tag title reign. It was just to give it right back to Jade and Bianca. Then why did you take it off of them in the first place? Just because it's Scotland? And if that's the case, why didn't you book Alba and Isla in a better position so it's more believable to take the titles in Scotland? He did not think ahead. And that's the problem with Hunter Hearst Helmsley. He has a problem with long-term storytelling. He's very short-term. Like what happened with Xia Li. I'll have her win 2 matches, and that's going to set up 2 big losses. Becky Lynch and Valkyria. And then we're going to release Xia Li. Dragunov. We'll debut him. He'll lose a bunch. We'll keep him off TV a few weeks, and then we'll bring him back and we'll try to do something. You got to stop, take a breath, and think long term. Because guys, whether you like it or not, I know we live in a microwave society. Everybody wants it right now fast, right? Let's go. On to the next. But you have to have long-term storytelling, man. You have to have stories that we can get invested into that can last more than even 4 weeks. I know, what a crazy concept. 1 month. Hunter Hearst Helmsley is just not that good with it. Unit. Stroganoff, Gross 512. No, Dragunov has not. It's sad, man. I think he's on, JR9, what is he on, speed? I think he's on speed. Now, he'll probably try to get... Right now, Hunter is going to have to, work overtime to get him over now. And that's sad, because you should not have to work that hard with Dragunov. He's a dude that can instantly captivate casual fans. For instance, I wasn't that into... I couldn't watch NXT every week. Still can't. But I knew instantly when I saw Dragunov, I had to put the remote down, I had to put my pen down, I had to put the... Whatever fax I was sending out, whatever call I was on, I had to hang up. Nope, I got to watch Dragunov. You shouldn't have to work that hard to get Dragunov over. Bronson Reed speaks for himself. Book him semi-decently. You shouldn't have to work that hard. You have him lose a bunch, and now you have to work overtime. You're giving him the Megatron treatment. Nobody can take out Bronson. You shouldn't have to work that hard, man, just because you had him lose 27 times, and now all of a sudden Bronson's indestructible. So now you have to do the same thing with Dragunov. You got to have Mello win 12 matches in a row because Mello lost a bunch when he debuted. The guy's literal slogan is Mello don't miss, and Triple H is like, we're going to debut you, and we're just going to have you miss a lot. You're just going to lose a lot. Is that cool? And then we're going to take a breath, and then we'll think of something. But we got to humble you down, let everybody see that you have adversity and struggle, and that you're not coming in, we're not pushing you to the moon. No, some people have to be pushed immediately. I bring up all the time, Razor Ramon would not have debuted and just lost every match. You know that. You're not going to bring in Razor Ramon and have him lose all the time from the jump. It's not happening, guys. He's one example of a billion, obviously, but it's just, you wouldn't do that. You bring up somebody like Dragunov and he's like a common, just a regular spoke on the wheel. You can't do it, though. So my point is, there's no doubt that Dragunov will probably have a mid-card title within a year. There's still no reason to rip apart everything that makes Dragunov special, because a lot of us fans are now going to see that and go, I can't get that out of my dome piece, that he can easily be that average. I bring it up all the time, my New York Yankees, guys. There was a stretch where we did nothing but lose for over a month. This season, we're in first place in our division. But why do us Yankee fans not put too much stock into this team? It's because we know how bad they can be at any given moment. Blink of an eye, snap of a finger, drop of a hat. And my Oakleys. In a snap of a finger, drop of a hat, or Oakley's blink of an eye, dude, that the Yankees can be that bad. And we know that now. So it's like you can't put that much trust or stock into it, right? Because you know at any moment the Yankees can absolutely lose 25 out of 30 games. It's the same thing with pro wrestling. You can have these dudes go on an awesome winning streak. You can have them win all the titles. We can't forget the fact that they were so bad for so long, which made them average. So there's no reason for Hunter to bring these dudes in and just have them just get crushed. JR9 Gaming says it beautifully, man. Triple H is basically treating HBK's NXT talent like VKM treated his. And you're so right. Right? That's what... JR9, I never thought of it that way, dude. I never thought of it that way. Vince would take Triple H's NXT Black and Golders and totally just change their names, fuck with them a little bit. And now Hunter is taking Shawn Michaels' that were made, man. Even BC, who can't watch Tuesday night every week anyway. I was like, dude, that's somebody. Oh, look at that. Oh, that one, dude. When they get to the main roster. And now Hunter's just like, just go out there and job out. We'll think of something in the future. We'll give you some good booking. It's what it is, man. Gregory, much respect, man. Absolutely. JR9, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think of it that way, but yeah, that's the problem with not having a plan long term. And if you don't have that plan, that's fine. That's fine. You have a lot going on. You have 5 hours of television, a PLE later in the month, but then don't debut them. Think, right? That's what Vince at least did do back in the day. He didn't just bring Scott Hall into WWE, give him a weird name like Razor Ramon, and have him lose a bunch. And go, hey, in the future, kid, you're gonna win. You're gonna win IC Gold. No, he waited. He gave him months of vignettes. He made him feel special. When he debuted, you knew this was a winner. And then he won matches from the jump. That's a winner. You want to back a winner, right? People don't want to back average people, man. It's a natural psychology in a human being. We naturally don't want to back losers just for the sake of backing losers, right? We want to back winners. It's not jumping on a bandwagon. We just want to know somebody's a winner, right? They got that drive. They got that intuition. There's something unique, special. You don't want to back a loser all the time, and that's what we're doing with these NXT talents. They're becoming so average that you're clogging the roster, man. What use is it having a Mello if he's just so averagely booked? It doesn't matter if Mello misses or not. It's like you don't even care if he's on the show or not. Dragunov hasn't been on Raw in weeks. Most of the WWE audience doesn't even realize it because he hasn't been booked properly anyways. They're like, who's Dragunov? Who's the one that just got called up? Not Fallon Henley. She's in NXT. Who was the, I don't even remember her name. Not Blair Davenport, although she's losing left and right too. But who's the one on Raw? She just got called up, guys. And you wouldn't even know it because she's not even on the show. Kiana James. Thank you. Where the fuck is Kiana James? JR9, is there an injury that we don't know about? Or is Hunter Hearst Helmsley just like, we brought you up 2 months ago. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have any booking for you. I don't know what I'm doing with you. I just called you up. I don't know. I threw fucking baloney at the wall, landed on your name, and now you called up. Valkyria is another one, right? Couple victories. You think, oh, they got big plans for Valkyria. She could not be any more average. You can't book people like that. And if you do too many of that, right now you start to book all of these individuals like that at once, you have what we have now, a very average mid-card. It is a very average mid-card. Guys, we talk all the time about how bad the tag team division is for the guys and the ladies. We talk about how bad the women's division is in totality for the most part. How about how bad the mid-card scene is? How many times can you see LA Knight and Escobar or Mello and Andrade on a Friday night? And then you wonder why the ratings are dropping like they are. There's only so many times you can have the same matches in the mid-card. On Monday Night Raw, the best thing to come out of the mid-card is Bronson Reed squashing people literally and figuratively. I mean, the mid-card is just not good. And that is not good because the mid-card has to carry these shows. That's how it's always been in the decades that I've been watching. But when you don't have a good women's division, when you don't have a good tag team division, booking-wise anyway, and when you don't have a good mid-card, and you have the talent that you have, that's inexcusable and it's unacceptable. Why are we the only ones calling this out? Are we truly the only ones that want to see wrestling get better and be better? It's funny because if anybody was to say we're negative, we're the ones who are just not happy with anything being displayed, it's kind of funny. It's ironic because I think they're the ones who are trying to destroy pro wrestling. By keeping it so damn average and not letting it grow, the people that are just happy with anything that's on their TVs, they're actually helping to destroy professional wrestling. That's sad, man. Because we're trying to make it better. We're trying to ask to raise the bar. I don't know, man. Well, I do know. That's the. Sometimes I wish I didn't know, so I could just play clueless and be like, oh, what an event Saturday. We saw good wrestling, guys. Hunter's cooking. No, Hunter's not cooking. And Vince Russo is right. He just is. Whether you like him or not, man. Horrible writing by wrestlers who don't know how to write. He was okay with Steve Regal, Dusty Rhodes, and NXT when he had 1 hour on the network. Guys, when he went to even cable, you started to see him just like fucking implode. He didn't have it. And Tony Khan started whooping his ass and he got flustered and it didn't work. And now you have him with 3 hours and you wonder why Monday Night Raw can't score better than a 1-7 in football. Monday Night Football is not even here yet. What the fuck's going to happen when Monday Night Football comes? You're going to hit a 1-4, 1-5, bro? SmackDown is 49,000 viewers from going under 2-0. Worst in history. With Fox anyway, especially last 5 years. Without any like big preemption or anything like that, that would be the worst rating that they would receive, and that's under the Hunter Hearst Helmsley era. I mean, these are facts, guys. Nobody's tearing down Triple H. We want the best. We want to praise his creativity because that means we're getting a fucking superb product. But we have to be honest, man. We have to start looking at better options for creative. I said it from day one. I think the best thing is just to get all the McMahons out of creative. And that's sad to say because I really like Shane McMahon. And yes, I absolutely consider Hunter Hearst Helmsley a McMahon. I call him Paul Levesque McMahon. He's the son-in-law of Vince. He's admitted he always talks shop with his father-in-law still to this day. He's breaking bread with Vince and talking about the show. You think that Vince isn't in cahoots with a lot of this? The best thing to do is wipe the slate clean and bring in real creativity. We have to get creative that understands this and isn't just going to have people like Gunther and Randy, top heel, top face, shake hands in mutual respect when Gunther looked at Randy Orton and literally said,
"You are the biggest." Was a screw up.
No. From the beginning.
Was a screw up.
From the beginning, Gunther. Come on.
Because your grandfather was a screw up. Your father was a screw up. And you, Randy Orton, you are the biggest screw up of them all.
Cool. Push that back, by the way, too. Make sure you guys can hear me properly. There you go, man. All right. You're the biggest screw up of them all. Your grandfather was not here to defend himself, literally. Your father not here to defend himself. You're all your family screw ups. And Randy's response is, "Can I shake your hand, man? Mutual respect." You really whooped my ass. You're right, man. We are a fucking family of failures. Let me shake your hand, dude. I mean, and you guys are absolutely shocked that BC is like, what did we just witness? I mean, is there really people shocked that I wasn't praising that handshake? I don't know why BC didn't love that, man. They had a good match and then they shook hands. Mutual respect. Yeah. No, guys. That's inexcusable and it's unacceptable. And that simply cannot happen in professional wrestling. That's it. Cosmic, yeah, that's what I thought, man. That's what I thought. I'm like, wow, did we really stoop to this? Is that what we're doing? And this is like the new normal. Just everyone shake hands after your match. Doesn't matter if you're a face, a heel. If you go out there and you deliver a pro wrestling match, man, shake hands, respect, let the crowd just love you both. Forget the fact that Gunther's the heel. Cheer him. Especially because it's Germany. Cheer him. Yeah, man. I can't lower my bar, guys. There's times I wish I could for you. I totally understand. We maybe would make the platform happier, right? We'd be less controversial. Casual fans would come across the channel and be like, wow, he's such a good guy. He loves pro wrestling because he's always talking about how great it is. So the channel would probably grow prosperously. I get it. It'd be a lot easier if I could just turn a blind eye and talk bullshit. I don't have it in me. I can't do it. So I have to continue to piss off the platform, piss off the tube. I have to continue to go at our pace and growth or not growth, whichever. At least I know my unit will talk pro wrestling with me. But I can't lie because it's not in me. I'm not lowering my bar. I don't have that gene in me. I don't have I can't just after every show go, this is so good. And that's it. Thanks for watching the review, everybody. I just had a fucking stroke fest with every match. Coddled the balls of every match. Talked about how Hunter's cooking. Wrestling business is booming. Forget the ratings. Forget the fact that the sellouts are becoming a lot less. They used to have a streak going in and out of Mania. Forget all that. Business is booming, and let's just say goodnight, everybody. Let's just leave it at all the positive. I can't do it, man. I won't do it. So I appreciate it, guys, in the chat, man. Jer9, man, appreciate that. You know that. James Shrimp Fajitas. That's where we're at, guys. I can't lower my bar. I won't, and that's why what happened on Saturday afternoon is unacceptable and inexcusable. I'm just going to leave it at that. And if people get pissed off because of our wrestling opinion, awesome. That means we're shaking it up, right? We're shaking it up, and we're making people realize that that's unacceptable and inexcusable. And I just hope that more people realize it and really want to make wrestling better by being honest about it. If you truly love pro wrestling, be honest. Or maybe it's people that literally just don't understand pro wrestling. So they're like, this is all great. Like their bar is so damn low, they don't even care. They don't understand the philosophy of pro wrestling. They're like, it's a wrestler and a wrestler. They had a good match and they shook hands. I don't know why BC's talking about heels and faces and what happened in a promo 2 weeks ago. Because that's everything, man. That's the whole reason you would used to whip out your wallet and pay to see the pay-per-views. The titles were an afterthought. That was the cherry on top. You had to see Wrestler A and Wrestler B lock it up because of the story that was put into it, the words that were said, the physicality in the weeks leading up. You have to see this match. I get goosebumps thinking about it. Now it's just like a filler, right? We have to get Randy from SmackDown somehow. Just put him in a rematch with Gunther. We'll do the match. Afterwards, just have him shake hands. And we'll move on to something else. We just have to fill the card up. What about Cody, sir? I don't know. We don't have anybody for Cody. What if you know what? Just have him like pick his friends. Say, KO, I'm giving you a title match. Sir, that doesn't make a lot of sense and it's not that creative or entertaining or exciting. Doesn't matter. Just have Kevin Owens be the next guy. I don't have time for this. So then you get to the event. Sir, how do you want to do Kevin Owens and Cody's finish? Just have Cody win. Okay, what about post-match? Have him hug. Sir, Randy and Gunther, what do you want the finish to be? Have Randy lose again. Okay, but what about post-match for the entertaining part? Have him shake hands. Sir, it doesn't make sense. He just said his family is failures and he's a top heel. I didn't get that. Just have them shake hands, I said. And then there's people that are dumbfounded that we're not on board with this trash. We want to be. That is my biggest advice for everybody. Just raise your bar, man. This is not the best of pro wrestling. This is not how we should be booking. This is absolutely going to rip pro wrestling apart, and it's going to shred the characters and the development and the trajectory of the superstars that are involved. Moving on, because that's all I have to say about this show. Again, salute to CM Punk, Drew McIntyre. Salute to Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio, Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley. They tried to put the event on their backs. The booking and the creative were just so stupid. It was decent to even good wrestling throughout. There was just nothing substantial to talk about afterwards, other than a huge booking creative botch and the handshake. But we are living in the mutual respect era, guys, and I doubt we've seen the last of it. Moving on, these media scrums are starting to really annoy a lot of the talent. Jade Cargill at this media scrum after Bash in Berlin was asked about AEW and the transition to WWE. Jade Cargill, not happy. She said, you know what? I'm actually tired of talking about AEW. She says, I'm happy about where I came from, but that's in the past. I am here now. I'm here. And I want to look forward. She did not look thrilled at all. She is done talking about the AEW. You go to these media scrums, you get a chance to ask a question like you're real media, and that's what you ask. How's it after being from AEW? After all these months? Cody Rhodes, not happy. Cody Rhodes asked about VKM and the allegations and all that good stuff. Cody Rhodes is like, I don't know enough information. I don't know what you want me to tell you. We're focused on what we just did out there in Germany for Bash in Berlin. That's what we're focused on. So we kind of learn as you guys learn. But he says, if you want an upfront answer, I don't have the information, so I don't have an answer for you. A lot of people are coming down on Cody for dodging the question. Hopscotch around the question. How do you want him to respond, man? There's been no legal fallout from this yet, right? To my knowledge, there's no trial yet. There's nothing. There's no evidence that has been concrete yet. Both sides are calling out the other and producing evidence. Nothing has went to a trial or a courtroom. So Cody Rhodes is not going to go out there and just start bashing his old boss. I don't blame him. Why would he do that right after a big event like this in a title defense? You want to get on Cody Rhodes for shit, that's fine. He has every right not to get in depth with a stupid question like that. What does that have to do with the event? How do you feel about your old boss Vince and these allegations? That's what you're going to fucking ask Cody? You get your one question? Did you honestly think he was going to sit there for a half an hour and start opening up about Vince McMahon stories? At what point is these media scrums they're getting really ridiculous, but now to the point where the talent is becoming pissed off. You can see it in their face. They're not happy about it. If you want to keep it kayfabe, I think that's pretty cool. I'd even probably tune in because I haven't tuned into any of these. I don't care. Right. Oh, did you hear the crowd out there last night? Like that. Oh, so good, man. Okay. That's fluff. Kayfabe it, man. You do a lot of kayfabe. I want to see these wrestlers. Is it just BC that I just want to enjoy the television show aspect of it, the entertainment aspect. It's okay to stay in your character a little bit and have some fun and let the fans fully get invested. I don't want to watch your character do something and then right afterwards in the scrum, watch you expose the magic trick to everybody. Just be in character, man. Talk about how if you see him again in the locker room, you're going to knock his block off again. You don't care that you just beat him. You ain't done. You're going to smack him upside his dome piece. Hunter Hearst Helmsley tried to copy Tony Khan. Tony Khan started doing this. Hunter Hearst Helmsley then said, hey, we should do media scrums. They're looking like big timers over there, like it's a real sport. But when you're pissing off your own talent, guys, it ain't working. There's nothing else I can tell you. The talent is getting pissed off. Moving on. CM Punk. By the way, after that event, CM Punk says he is done with Drew McIntyre. He is moving on to the World Championship title picture. Now, you got to believe that's got to wait until Rumble, right? How do you fit CM Punk in now? CM Punk's Raw. I guess you would go Gunther Punk for Bad Blood. Isn't that rushing it? And then there's no way Punk is winning that title in a month. So do you really want CM Punk, who just picked up his first singles big victory anyway in WWE again after 10 years, do you want him just to get thrown into a feeder match to Gunther? I mean, JR9, Unit, when do you think is the best time for CM Punk to go for a championship? Yeah, Gruss 512, I was thinking the same thing, and I'm loving CM Punk's work lately. WrestleMania versus Cody, JR9. So not Randy Orton? Because I was hoping somehow we rectify this stupid Randy that we got on Saturday, shaking the hands of a dude that just said your whole family are screw-ups and failures. That's not the Orton I want to see. I want to see Orton turn on Cody, set up a big-ass, badass feud, and Randy versus Cody. But I guess CM Punk and Cody makes a lot of sense as well. Yeah, a lot of you guys are saying WrestleMania season, Royal Rumble, Eric Leno. Punk versus Owens, gross. We're going to need some struggle in adversity, Joseph Ramos. Oh, no. I remember when Cody should have won that title at 39. And there was a portion of the crowd, the audience, that was like, no, not yet, guys. They were like, he needs more struggle in adversity. How did that work out? We had to wait another whole year. Roman basically was on vacation that whole year. And then Cody won it a year later, and now everybody's turning on Cody Rhodes. Now everybody's going, Cody's run is so boring. Cody's got nobody lined up. They got Hunter Hearst Helmsley is plucking his own friend Kevin Owens. Yeah. JR9, James Shrimp Fajitas, Gruss, Darkman, Cocoa Beach, Robert, anybody who's been with the channel for a while. Who told you this was going to happen? Honestly, this isn't for a pat on the back. Who told you that this was going to happen? Ray Hunt, you're correct. JR9, Gruss 512. I'm not even patting myself on the back because I wanted to be wrong. I wanted to be wrong, but I knew I wasn't. I knew every time you guys would tell me, BC, your boy JD, he just said Cody needs struggle in adversity. I said, listen, I love my boy JD, but he's wrong. Because if you do that, they're not going to have the capability to book him for the future. They don't have it. It's not conceivable to them. So I said he can't wait another year, and then Roman is so part-time, you're not even going to see the dude. So no. You cannot have him face any struggle. He just came back from a Hell in a Cell match with half his body purple and blue. That's enough. But we did it, right? Even though you have to read the room, the crowd was ready to explode, and they actually had Cody laying down next to a rubber chicken. So then the year later, everybody said, BC, your boy JD said he's got to win it now. It can't be The Rock versus Roman. It's got to be Cody versus Roman to finish the story. And I said, I love my boy JD, but he's wrong. Just do The Rock and Roman, no harm, no foul, because you're not going to have a plan for Cody. I'm telling you, Hunter doesn't have a plan. He doesn't have a plan. I was right. I'm always fucking right. Because I'm thinking a mile ahead. I'm always thinking ahead for the betterment of you guys, us, the fans, the company, the wrestlers. For Hunter Hearst Helmsley. I'm thinking about all of us. No, you don't wait another whole year to have Cody do what he should have just done at 39. Because you're getting to the same result. And look what happened. You got it all mustered because Hunter wasn't even convinced that he was going to go Cody versus Roman. And when The Rock definitely said he's stepping up for it, Hunter still had him win. Cody win the Rumble. And on that documentary, he said, I didn't have a plan. He didn't have it. JR9, am I right? Hunter said, I really didn't have a plan. I just had him win the Rumble. Even though I knew Rock was back. I don't know. I'm gonna have Cody do something. Triple H had Cody win the Rumble, even though he told him the same night he wasn't likely to face Roman. JR9 Gaming. Read that from JR9 in that chat. That's true. JR9 is correct. I heard the same thing. I heard it from Hunter's mouth. So why did you have him win the Rumble? That was not an audible, guys, because CM Punk got hurt. No, that was the planned finish. Punk already admitted that. Hunter admitted that. Cody did, I believe, as well. I can't recall his exact quote, though. I know CM Punk's and Hunter's. That was what they went with. They went with Cody, knowing that he wasn't finishing no story. So then you convoluted this whole thing. Half the audience is rising up going, no, we waited a year. It has to be Cody finishing the story. So then the fans that wanted Rock and Roman are going at it with the fans that want... Before you know it, Seth Rollins is in the mix for some reason, right? Stamford, Connecticut is calling Seth Rollins. Rollins is caught off guard. He's in Becky Lynch's closet, like trying to find his Monday Night Raw gear. He's going through all of Becky's gowns and her fucking space heel boots. He sees a Stamford phone. He's like, hello? It's Triple H. Yeah, we're going to need you in the main event for one of the Manias, man. We finally found something for you. He's like, what? This is great. I'm trying to find something to wear now. I'm in Becky's closet. Awesome. We're going to need you at Television Monday. Somehow Rollins is in there. Everything was thrown upside down, man. All could have been avoided. Read the room. Put the title on him. Instead, the universe told you that did not pan out. A rubber chicken was thrown in the ring. And that was the visual. Instead of Cody hoisting up a rubber chicken. So then this year, you finally get the moment, right? Was it worth it? No. It was well done for what it was. But you go back to 39's crowd, not even close. And now we're in the same position I told you guys we were going to be in if we wait. You're going to have nobody lined up for Cody Rhodes. We have nobody lined up for Cody Rhodes. They're trying to pluck his best friends, Kevin Owens, and who knows who's next, man. Maybe they bring back James Ellsworth. But you're not going to get anything. I told you guys, man. I tried anyway. But nobody wanted to hear, man. Nobody wanted to hear. Anyway, CM Punk is going for the world title now. So we'll see if they do this correctly. Because if they botch this, we're just going to redo the whole Cody Rhodes thing. Just a different spectrum of ways, but we're just going to redo it. Also, guys, where do you guys want to go? Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross wants a new championship. I think that's going to be way too many titles in WWE. But it's an interesting title. Karrion Kross wants an Extreme Rules championship. So it's going to be a bunch of matches that have no rules, no DQ, all that good stuff. Pinfall, submission, or knockout. Karrion Kross would be perfect for that, but I don't know. With such a lack of creative in WWE right now, could they handle a whole new division, basically? Because you're almost creating a new division. Or every week, a wrestler just has to act like they're extreme. So I don't know if that's going to work. I know on the surface it sounds like a fun idea, an Extreme Championship. Eric Leno's just like, no. Thank you, Karrion Kross, no. Jer9, decent concept. Too many titles now. Kross does deserve better, though. No doubt, Jer9. It is downright criminal how they booked Bobby Lashley and how they booked Karrion Kross. And then they had them in these weird factions, and then they had them face each other, and then that led to absolutely nothing. And now Karrion Kross is reduced to fruit roll-up pinfalls. Mikey just says trash. Kaya says, I would not mind it. I mean, if done correctly, I wouldn't mind it either. I just don't know if Hunter can even juggle that on top of everything else. So we'll see if they give Karrion Kross his wish, an Extreme Rules Championship. Bischoff collecting some backlash. I don't know. I don't think this is too false, but I can see how it's a controversial view. But again, I don't see any lies. Bischoff says recently on Okada, he says, and I quote, I've yet to see this best wrestler in the world. I don't know what it is, but the stuff that I see in the ring is like, huh? You get paid what? You get paid how much? So Bischoff is talking about Okada, and that kind of got some fans a little irritated. Like, dude, he's so good. But he's talking, I think, about the presentation. So I bring this up because it is a good conversation, because it brings up the bigger, that's a microcosm of the grander scheme of it all, which is, are we utilizing these wrestlers in the best way? Right? When you get somebody like Okada, and you get Will Ospreay, and you get Mercedes Moné, all around the same time frame, and the needle doesn't go up. In fact, it goes backwards, right? That is a problem. That's not an Okada issue. He didn't lose any skill. He didn't lose talent. That's a booking problem. So Okada doesn't feel as special because they're not making him special. Same thing we're saying really about Hunter. So, I mean, this is controversial. I don't always agree with Bischoff, trust me. But when he says I've yet to see the best wrestler in the world, I don't know what it is, but the stuff that I'm seeing from him in the ring is like, you get paid how much? He's saying he's not worth the price tag. He could be. This is the top guy in Japan. But if you don't have things set out in front of him, if you don't have good stories set up, if you don't have plans that are definitive, Okada's just going to be another spoke on the wheel. The problem is you're giving him upwards of $5 million. Can't do that. So I kind of see where Bischoff's coming from there. It sucks because I want so much to see Okada and Ospreay and Mercedes thrive. But it's the same backlash that Mercedes is getting, right? We all know how good Sasha Banks Mercedes Moné is. But she's not getting rave reviews in AEW. And this is coming from AEW diehards, by the way. They're going, this isn't clicking. And you guys know how I feel about Mercedes, man. Top of the top. So it sucks to hear the critiques that she's getting, but I totally understand how reputable they are. Yeah, Jer9, a Mercedes Shida announced for All Out. That's a rematch, by the way, for those of you that don't know. But she won that, Jer9. I believe she won that to qualify for that matchup on Collision, correct? I think Shida won that on Collision. So, yeah, that's that. I think that's Pimpe Jesus. Yeah. Fatal 4-way, Coco. Yep. 4-way on Collision, Jared. Yeah. Jay was going to say, isn't that a rematch? James Shrimp-Fajitas. Yes, that is a rematch. But I thought it was okay. That match didn't get too much rave reviews either. But that's what I got for you guys, man. I carved out an hour. We're going an hour and a half. But everything got thrown off when we had more tech issues. The tube is just stuck in this vertical format because they want everything like a short, like a TikTok. No, we're going horizontal because we're going to be over an hour. So this was on 0 minutes of notice. I mean, 0. We went live and I wasn't even ready, guys. I was like, what? So 0 minutes of notice. We had hundreds live. I thank you guys. We have almost 200 on the ups. 175. Let's rock that to 2. This is on 0 minutes of notice, and you guys rock this out to the point where I'm going to spend a little extra time if you don't mind. If you don't mind, I'm actually going to go to the super chats because you guys sounded off in the supers. Let me find that on the big screen. So hold on. I'm actually not going anywhere right now. I'm going to shoot the shit with you guys a little bit. JR9 Gaming started us off with that 2 spot as we got to earlier. HBK about to destroy Triple H's with the No Mercy show tonight. I hope to do a review on that. If I can catch the show, I will do that tomorrow. Ray Hunt with a $5 super chat. Ray Hunt says, my own 12-year-old, who isn't even a wrestling fan, said the ending of the main event was baffling. It just goes to show how logic is still needed. I have to repeat that super chat. Ray Hunt says, my own 12-year-old, who isn't even a wrestling fan, said the ending of the main event was baffling. It just goes to show that logic is still needed. Because you don't need, it's not rocket science, whether you watch wrestling or not. You know that that's an ultimate heel, that's an ultimate good guy. Why is he going in the ring to shake this heel's hand? Why is the heel shaking that dude's favor? You wouldn't see Sergeant Slaughter doing that to Hulk or Hogan after all he said about the country of the USA, and Hogan's just like, mutual respect, bro. You called my family a bunch of failures and screw-ups. Mutual respect. What? Ray Hunt, what that means is you're bringing up a good kid, man. Congratulations. Sakaya, 5 spot super chat. Vakaya with a $5 coffee says, Ricochet is in another company. I would like to see him and Leo Cruz team up. First of all, Ricochet is close, Zakaya. If I can take this another aspect, Ricochet has to be careful. He could be booked with Okada, Ospreay, and all them, where it's not moving the needle at all. In fact, they're feeling like another spoke on the wheel. You got to be careful with Ricochet. So before we even go into that, first, I'm really hoping there's a plan. What I saw on Wednesday's Dynamite, I loved it. Ospreay comes out, they have a stare down, and then Bastard Pac just takes out Ospreay. And the way that Pac delivered that line to Rick, you set up a bunch of feuds in one segment. You set up Ricochet and Pac. You set up what was it, Ospreay and Pac. You set up a lot of good ones, man. So yeah, Lio Rush, guys. Right, isn't that what he said, Zakea? Where's that super chat? Ricochet is another company. I would like to see him in Leo Cruz. Cruz. No, I think Zakea meant Leo Rush. I think. Zakea, you still in here? Leo Rush, correct, I believe? Did I say Cruz too? I don't know. Like Ron Burgundy, right? It's on the teleprompter. I just can't. Just read it anyway. I think we're talking about Leo Rush. But before we even talk about that, though, man, just book this correctly. You did something pretty good on Wednesday night. Let's bulk that up, man. Zakaya, appreciate it. Junior Jackson, $2 super chat coffee. You should work at WWE, BC. Thumbs up from the UK. Junior, I appreciate that. I don't know, man. I think so differently from Hunter Hearst Helmsley. I said the same thing about Vince. I don't think I could work there because Vince would fire me on day one because I'd lock the door and then we'd start screaming. Right? Not physical. We're not going to start punching each other, but we would be loud, right? Because I would have to tell Vince all the things that he's been fucking up, neglecting, and it has to change. I told you guys that for years. I would never even try to get a job in World Wrestling Entertainment unless they're going to give me the keys to the kingdom and I can truly create, like McMahon did to Russo. And he still had to filtrate through McMahon. I get it. It's kind of the same thing with Hunter. I don't think we can see eye to eye on a lot. And if he tries to cock block me on a lot of issues and topics and things that I want to do creatively, I might be out just as fast as I came in within a week. I would have to have confirmation that you're giving me the creative book. Give me the magic pen. Give me just 3 months. That's all I'm asking for, 3 months. I'm not looking for a job, by the way, clearly. Because then I'd just be kissing the ass of WWE, right? Like a lot of people do. You can tell I'm not looking for no freaking job. I got plenty of, I'm good. This is still my hobby, thankfully, talking pro wrestling. But if I was to, I would just ask for 3 months. If I fail, if the ratings don't budge at all in just 3 months, out. I know I'm still pretty smart in pro wrestling, but it's just not, it's not connecting. But just give me 3 months and watch. Watch what happens. Watch what happens when individuals, when fans, when an audience gets captivated. Watch what happens when you do something that's called must-see TV. You're not giving them an option to tune in next week. I don't know, maybe I'll tune in. No, they're like, I'm not missing that. Did you see what just happened? And then the next week, they're there 5 minutes early. Watch what happens, man. When you get must-see TV as opposed to, maybe TV. Junior Jackson, you should work at WWE, BC. Thumbs up from the UK. I would have to have confirmation that I'm in charge. But so much love from the UK. Much love right back to the UK. Can they coexist? Oh, man. Hey, Stegmeister! Ash Stegmeister Stegels, a $10 super chat, man. One of the ones that made it possible for that live stream yesterday. I was about to throw everything into a brick wall with the technical issues, but I saw some banger bombs, man. Stegmeister, Angel Olega, Dave Mealy, throwing just boxes of coffee at the channel. I was like, deep breath, regroup. We're gonna find a way to go live. So, Stegmeister, I got to give you another thanks, man. That was wild. Thanks for sticking with it yesterday. The apple well truly doesn't fall far from the tree. FVKM FHHH. I always say that, right? The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. VKM still to this day, or should I say Hunter Hearst Helmsley is still to this day learning from Vince. He told us he still talks shop. His words were, that's my father-in-law. Of course we talk shop. They break bread many times a week. Stephanie is still so close to her father, unlike Shane. Of course they're talking WWE. A lot of the stuff you see is because Vince said, don't you ever change this, or do that. Why do you think you're still here, WWE Universe? Right? There's a bunch of emails that still go out say WWE Universe. There's a bunch of you'll still hear them say WWE Universe. When they start Monday Night Raw, they still do the stupid welcome to Raw. Even though the wrestler seems so uncomfortable, they'll have whoever is starting off in the ring say welcome to Monday Night Raw. That's a Vince McMahon thing. Trust me. There's little things that they refuse to change. Those are the things. That's when I truly know that there's a disconnect from VKM fully. Yeah, it's awful, Jer9, because so many of the wrestlers are so uncomfortable with it. But you have to have that Vince McMahon start still to this day. Stegmeister. So glad you were able to catch this on 0 minutes of notice, guys. I gave no notice. I didn't even have notice that we were going live. I'm getting everything situated. All of a sudden it goes live. I'm like, what? Oh, man. Jonathan Lofton. $5. Booker T super chat, bro. Jonathan Lofton, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for the super chat. Popping my super chat cherry to your awesome channel, BC. What do you want to bet by this time next year? Netflix has buyer's remorse. Coffee's on me. First of all, Jonathan Lofton, to pop in your super chat cherry, man. Love it. Thanks for the support, dude. I honestly appreciate it. Love seeing you guys highlighted so I can say thank you and I appreciate you. So I thank you big time on the coffee. As far as Netflix having buyer's remorse, I was literally just having this conversation during I think it was my second coffee this morning with a good buddy of mine. And we were kind of talking about how when the ratings are done, I mean, the product is hurting already. And they don't care because they're getting a lot of good revenue, right? Profit, financials are good. So they don't care about the ratings. So when you go to the streaming, I mean, they're really not going to, they got their $5 billion and now we just go to streaming logging hours, right? That's what Netflix calculates. How much time is being spent on streaming this show, this product, right? It goes into streaming hours. But what I was thinking was, what if the show gets so bad that the streaming hours are cut by 40% of their projected table? I mean, if you get to a 35 to 40%, Netflix is going to be pissed. You guys know, does anybody follow because I love number. I'm that's where I am a nerd in that aspect. Numbers, metrics, statistics. I love numbers, right? Because they tell facts, and I love talking about facts because then we don't have to argue with one another. We could just have a good conversation. At that point, it doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what BC thinks. We're talking about facts. So let's put out our egos aside and let's have a good conversation. That's why I love numbers. They tell us facts. Do you guys realize that if they went so low, Netflix, if you guys follow what they do, if they see something even going 15% lower, Netflix has been known to completely boot the show off of their platform. That's why a lot of shows get canceled out of nowhere, like an RKO. They get canceled out of nowhere from Netflix. And then people are like, what? What happened? Netflix don't care. It wasn't logging in the time that was required, to them anyway. So my point is, Jer9, all the time they do it. Yep. Jonathan Lofton, yes, absolutely. If business continues like this and the needle's not moving, and when it does, it's unfortunately backwards, and people are still watching cable because of Monday Night Football instead of going onto your streaming service, and then the rest of the week, they're like, I already saw the highlights. I don't need to watch 3 hours or even 2 hours on Netflix. If people are doing that, Netflix will be pissed, and their wrath will be a lot worse than just buyer's remorse. Jonathan Lofton on the super chat cherry popped. Salute. Realist in the room, how you doing? $2 super chat. VKM booked Cody like a man, not a bitch like Triple H. Yeah, the reason Cody's back was Vincent Kennedy McMahon and Bruce Pritchard. And Vince saw something big, and then, I mean, it took H a while to come around. I'm not shocked that he did not have Cody win at 39, and it was not cemented in stone that he was going to go back for it at 40. I'm not shocked at all. There's still that pettiness in Paul. There absolutely is. Anybody who's followed the trajectory of Paul Levesque McMahon's career, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, there's that pettiness, man. So it took a while, but they're cool now. But yeah, man, I'm not shocked. VKM definitely wanted him to go places. But that's a good way to put it. Realist in the room. Can't say that though. You can't say that. Vince bad, HHH good, and that's where it has to end. Unfortunately for a lot of fans, I don't know why that is. OJ, $2 super chat. Cody was asked, "Do you believe Janelle Grant?" ? Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I mean though. OJ, he was asked about Vince McMahon, the situation. I mean, what? Cody just got out of this title match. Hunter Hearst Helmsley is telling him to go out and do these stupid questions by fucking people on the platform, so that they can act like real journalists. And then Cody is asked about the Vince McMahon situation. It's like, I don't blame Cody for just going like, dude, I'm not doing this right now. No, absolutely not. OJ, appreciate it, dude. Realist in the room, how you doing? Another $2 coffee. Super chat. Cody fans are going to war with Triple H fans on X. Oh, why? What happened? Is it because of the booking of Cody? Realist in the room, if you're still in the chat, or anybody that knows what Realist is talking about, because BC doesn't come across as a social doohickey machine kind of guy. But what are they talking about? What's the beef between Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Cody Rhodes? What's the beef now? Is it because of the booking? And that they have no fucking buddy to face Cody Rhodes? Does anybody know in the chat or no? Must be the booking, yeah. Dave Mealy! I just told Stegmeister I had to give another big thank you, Dave, for yesterday's banger bomb, because it was a lot more than just chucking coffee at the channel. It allowed BC to take a deep breath and get the kinks worked out, and we were able to get a live stream together. So, because I said I have to go live to say thank you to Dave and Stegmeister and Angela Lega. I'll get to that super chat in a second, Dave. Jared9 says, I have been seeing Bloodline fans still fighting with Cody fans due to the reign. I don't know, man. It's so childish. That's what I mean, though, right? It's a lot of fans that are going to say WWE is so on fire and Hunter's cooking. And then at the same token, they're going to go, wow, this booking for Cody sucks. Well, which is it, man? Everything can't be awesome if a lot of it sucks. Realist in the room. I shouldn't be shocked. Realist in the room, how you doing? $2 super chat. You and Bay Dollar called it about Cody. I still don't know much about this Bay Dollar, man. Other than that was a co-host on one of JD's shows. And then when he left, JD asked me, but I didn't have Tuesday nights like that. And I didn't want to put JD in a predicament where like I can't fulfill my commitment. That's doing JD dirty, and I won't do that. If you're truly my boy, I'm going to look out for you. You got to be, as a friend, you got to be a reliability, not a liability. I always say that. If you're a true friend, you're a reliability, not a liability. So if I said, yeah, I can do this, what's the fucking show? Tuesday Night Titans. If I said yes, I have to, make sure that I can fulfill that commitment every Tuesday night. I couldn't. So, unfortunately I had to say no to that, but that's all I know about Bay Dollar. I don't know anything else. I don't know the channel, and I don't care to. I don't have the time. But if he called whatever I called on Cody, well, he must have seen something from a mile away, because it's not rocket science, man. You could have smelled what was happening with Cody's booking from miles away. Miles away. I think we're still talking about the same dude, right? Bay Dollar, I believe. Realist in the room, how you doing? It's all just common sense. Most of what I tell you, most of what I preach on the channel is literally based in facts and just common sense and logic. I'm not even trying to get into like, it's not even material to get in arguments with or just always try to dispute, right? I think a lot of people, like, they watch like shows like this or channels like this, and they just want to argue with everything, right? They want to dispute everything. They want to act like what their thought is better than yours. It's not even about that, man. That's not why I have this channel. I don't have the time to go back and forth with everybody. So I try to leave as much opinion to the side and just talk about the numbers, the facts, the statistics, what is actually happening. So, yeah, I'm not surprised that I nailed the Cody thing, man. He said everybody wants the belt of Roman and for Cody to have it, but there's nothing after finishing the story. Yeah, realist. Exactly what BC said. It's good to know that other people saw that, right? It's not just BC going, oh, guys, hold on. Hold on. When Cody gets this title, what's the plan? Because it wasn't looking like H had a plan. When he's admitting he didn't even have a plan for Mania. He had Cody win the Rumble, and he admitted on the documentary, he said, I was lost after that. I said, you'll win the Rumble, and then I have to think about shit. And you guys thought he had people. I mean, you got to think ahead, man. You have to have long-term storytelling. And unfortunately, Hunter Hearst Helmsley is not good at long-term storytelling. He drags. When he tries, it falls off. You know, thankfully, like Drew and CM Punk, they just have this chemistry. Because I'm telling you right now, fighting over the bracelet was becoming like this Monday, I told you guys, I think we've hit the wall with the bracelet. Like, this is it. Hunter is tapped out. But thankfully, Drew and CM Punk had such good chemistry that they just made it so believable and it was good. But they started going a little bit backwards with the whole bracelet storyline. So it's one of those things, man. Rob Reverne, $5 super chat. Rob, what's up, Rob Reverne? Hunter pays insane money on marketing and influencers. I feel gaslighted seeing everywhere how Bash was such an amazing PLE. Yeah. I mean, that's almost every show nowadays, Rob Reverne. It's just like every show is being praised to another degree. And I'm like, whoa, did we watch the same? Like, it's okay to, like, the wrestling yesterday was good for the most part. I'll absolutely say that. But we also have to talk about what was bad, right? We have to talk in depth about that women's tag title match in the booking around it and why we're playing hot potato. There was so much wrong with that. And people wanted to just kind of breeze right by it because they knew it wasn't good. So they had to get back to the positivity. People know that Kevin Owens and Cody just hugging afterwards, that's the best you got after a weak-ass build. Have something fun afterwards. People know that watching Randy just lose to Gunther again for the second time, and then afterwards shaking the hands of the dude that just insulted his entire family, fans were like, what? We're ending with mutual respect? And then when the show is over, everybody's like, did you see it? Bash in Berlin! I'm going to watch this every day for the next 10 years. No. If my audience, if the unit says BC, I wasn't able to catch this live, the pay-per-view, the PLE, do you think I should watch it? I'll be like, bro, there was nothing special. If you have 3 hours and 15 minutes, I mean, you'll catch some good wrestling, but don't be expecting anything like fun. Don't be expecting surprises. Don't be expecting anything that you're going to go back and watch again. Don't be expecting to be at the edge of your seat. You're going to see a lot of filler. I would be honest. I would be honest, man. Rob Reverne, appreciate you big time, man. Always. Hold on, guys. There were some more, too, that I want to get over to. Where we want to go? MD20 with a $5 coffee super chat. Hopefully Raw, when Monday Night Football kicks off next weekend, can kick that ass, and Bronson booking has finally been good. It had no choice with Bronson. I mean, they had this guy. I bring this up all the time on the channel like a broken record. They had Bronson go against another heel Gunther, get out-heeled and beat. And when they tried to make Bronson sentimental, the crowd was sitting on their thumbs yawning. You could have literally heard a pin drop. That's how silent it was. So Hunter had no choice but to do this type of booking for Bronson because if they didn't do this, I won't say buried, but he was halfway to being ruined. There was no reason for anybody to give a shit about Bronson. In fact, he was so badly booked for so many months, I still can't forget about that. I'm still remembering how Bronson at any moment, like I said about my Yankees, snap of a finger, Bronson can lose a bunch of matches in a row because he's still that guy. You're not going to tell me that in 1 week he all of a sudden became Superman. MD2O, Monday Night Football, bro. They're already pulling only 1.7 top. So what are you going to pull? What do you want to talk about? Not that the rating is at a 1.5 because of Monday Night Football. And this is what I'm going to hate. Every week going forward, WWE will not be to blame for a bad rating. We're just going to talk about how their competition was Monday Night Football. So of course they were going to get destroyed. Where was that energy when in the Attitude Era when we were beating Monday Night Football? We don't want to talk about that. Ragin, $10, couple of coffees, man. Big super chat from Ragin. What's up, BC in the Amplified unit? My blood still boils from that BS yesterday. I hope No Mercy beats the brakes off of bullshit in Berlin. I think that's how we mean that, Ragin. BS in Berlin. JR9 is convinced No Mercy's gonna take the W tonight. Ragin, I hope so. I'm going to hopefully catch that event at some point over the next 24 hours and give you guys a review. In that same review, if I'm able to, hopefully in the comments, JR9 will have his NX. JR9, are you going to do one? Hold on, let me go to my chat. JR9, you still up in here? There's JR9. No Mercy pretty much just needs to turn needs to turn up to be better. JR9, I will have the report. So if I'm able to give you guys an NXT, also look into the comments of that review over the next 24 hours whenever that comes out. JR9, and he extensively details NXT. So you definitely, every week for NXT, you want to check out JR9's NXT report. It's always an awesome read. Ragin, appreciate it. And I know it's one of the worst wrestling calls I've ever seen. I've been watching pro wrestling for decades. I have never seen, or at least very rarely do I see a botch in creative booking like I saw last night when Randy stepped in the ring, shook the hands of the dude that just days ago said your family is failures and screw-ups. Well, let me shake your hand. Thanks for telling me that. Made no sense at all, but we don't even care about making sense anymore. We just want to say how awesome the shows are, put Hunter Hearst Helmsley on a pedestal, and call it a day, everybody. Ragin, I'm with you. Dave Mealy, $10. Big super chat from Dave, couple coffees. Good seeing you up in here, Dave. I appreciate you big time, man. Let's hope that Netflix has the guts to force the WWE to get their act together and put out better programming. I think so, Dave. A lot of people believe that because they're going to Netflix, now we're going to get the worst of the worst because now they really don't care. Ratings no longer are going to matter. I think the opposite. Netflix wants a return on their investment way more than USA, way more than Fox, and they're going to be on WWE's ass if they're not pulling in those hours of streaming because they have the metrics. And if WWE is down 30 to 40% over the next 2 years, just 2 years, and they paid $5 billion, Netflix is going to be pissed. They're going to be asking for Hearst Helmsley to be removed from creative. It's just what's going to happen, man. Netflix, from what I know of them, they don't fool around. MD2O with another $5 coffee. MD2O, why not have KO turn heel last night? I would have even taken that. It's not even needed per se. I mean, he just needs good booking, whether face or heel. But if you told me that we were just going to get the filler match we knew we were going to get, which is what happened, and that you had nothing planned afterwards, just a hug, I would have said, no, turn him heel then. Especially if Randy's not turning heel last night. Do something to make this feel like a PLE. Because when it was all said and done, we're still stuck with that bad taste in our mouth. Wait a second. We still don't understand why Owens was just picked for Cody just because there is no people to face Cody. Right? Hunter botched this from the beginning. So now we have to pick his own friend Kevin. Kevin is talking about how he doesn't even belong in the match. He loses all of his matches lately because of Hunter's booking. So from the jump, it was weird. The build was obviously weird. And then the match was just a filler. And then afterwards, they hugged. And you got the same shit with top heel Gunther and top face Randy afterwards. Mutual respect. MD2O, I don't have the answer to that, other than Hunter just did not care about this event. I'm starting to feel like a lot of these events that are out of the country, these PLEs, it's a situation where Hunter's just like, take your money, slap you upside your dome piece. Take your money, thanks, bye. We're going to give you everything we advertised. And that's what you're going to get. That's it. MD20, I'm not sure, but it's starting to feel like these are filler events. MD20, why didn't Owens just turn heel last night? Because you can't, because you had to have them hug it out. They had to hug each other. That's why. Guys, I appreciate it. This, I said I carved out 1 hour. That's literally what I did, but it turned out to be 2 hours on 0 minutes notice. And that's because you guys, you were amplified, bro. You guys were having engaging conversation. I was looking at that nonstop, and it just it made it a lot more fun. So you know what? This went almost 2 hours. It is what it is. I appreciate you guys very much. With all the technical difficulties, with the second stream like yesterday on 0 minutes of notice, and we hit 200 on the ups. 200. So now the replay unit just has to do, you're handing them a couple hundred spot. I can't thank you guys enough. Until next... Oh, hold up. Nah, we ain't going anywhere yet. Dave Mealy with another big super chat, bro. Another $10. A couple coffees chucked. Fucking box, bro. Dave said, hold on, BC. I got a box coming at you, bro. Dave, it's funny how Triple H is booking the talent to shake hands after matches, but you never saw Triple H. He never shook hands with his opponents when he was wrestling. Guys, Dave, I think you're right, man. I don't recall, like the cerebral assassin, Triple H, the diabolical heel. I don't remember him just shaking all of the top face hands. Do you guys remember when he did do that? I'm not saying maybe it didn't happen once. I don't remember any time like Dave. Does anything come to your guys' mind? Because that's a really good point, Dave. You're booking all of these wrestlers to look like idiots because they had a good athletic competition. But he never did that. Vince would have never booked him like that. Stegmeister don't remember. Kea don't remember. Santivia Major says, nope, he never did. He's too petty. Yeah, Santivia, yeah, he knows it'll hurt him if he was to do that. Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley knows that would hurt his character big time if the cerebral assassin is shaking the hands of the face. Come here, Ken Shamrock, right? Come here, Road Warrior Animal. Let me shake your hand in mutual respect. What? What are you talking about? Come here, Headbanger, Thrasher. You can't do that, bro. Can you imagine Triple H and Bret the Hitman Hart having a great athletic wrestling match, and after the match they're just shaking hands? But Triple H, you just called out the dude's family and shredded them verbally. You put Bret Hart into a brick wall in a segment last week, and now you're shaking his hand. And why is Bret shaking his hand? Bret, he just insulted your family and put your head through a brick wall. It wouldn't make sense, would it, guys? Now you see why it doesn't make sense here. So if he didn't do it for himself, why? Triple H never shook hands, JJ Bulldog says. Never did as far as I can remember, Willie Buxton. Why are we doing it left and right today? Why are we in this era of mutual respect? Santivia, Triple H shaking Punk's hand never happened. Could you guys imagine? You remember the beef they had? Remember all the words that were said? And could you imagine them having the match and then afterwards going, mutual respect? Imagine, yeah, somebody brought it up earlier in the chat. I forgot. Remember when Big Boss Man had Big Show on his father's casket and Big Boss Man was driving the hearse out of the cemetery? Could you imagine if he just stopped the car, got out, and Big Show got off the casket, and they're like, dude, what are we doing, man? Mutual respect. That doesn't... What? Randy, he just said your grandfather is a failure, a screw-up. Your father is a failure and a screw-up. You are the biggest failure and screw-up. And the Legend Killer, the Viper, is just like, can I shake your hand, man? I gotta tell you, I respect you. You're the real deal wrestler, man. Come on, guys. Justine, it probably won't be, tonight. Oh, No Mercy. I don't know. Maybe Hunter's telling Sean to have two individuals shake hands, but... You're going to see a lot of it. I've witnessed so many heel versus heel matches for no reason. And that never works because one of the heels has to now out-heel the other heel, like Gunther and Bronson, for instance. I've seen so many face versus face matches. You're splitting the audience, and one face is going to overshadow the other face. Why are you ruining individuals? Just have good guy, bad guy matchups. Just because you don't want to put the creativity into it? Tough shit. If you're going to call yourself the head of creative, you have to be the head of creative. You have to literally be the boss. You wanted to be the boss, be the boss. If you want to be the boss, you got to have the big boy pen. If you can't do it, move aside. Yeah, the hug it out. Stegmeister, maybe it's the hug it out era. But I'm going to continue to call it the mutual respect era. Everybody shake hands. It doesn't matter what happened in the story, if there even was a story. Doesn't matter if he's another bad guy and he's another good guy. She's another good... The girl, the women. Damage Control just beat the Faces in a six-woman. Damage Control. All they did with Bayley. All the things they did to the Faces. And then Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler and Sonya jump into the ring to debut. And instead of taking out the Faces, they take out Damage Control. They're the heels. Why are heels taking out the heels? That was months ago. Damage Control is still no more better than they were as Full Throttle heels. On that, just because they got attacked by heels, they got out-heeled, and they instantly became baby faces. How does that work in Hunter Hearst Helmsley's wrestling? Like, Hunter Hearst Helmsley sat down and went, all right, Sonya's group is going to attack Damage Control. Sir, they're both heels. Both groups. Okay. Well, we're going to make Sonya's the more dominant heel group, and hopefully that'll turn Damage Control in the faces. But, sir, it's a heel group taking out heels. I don't think the fans are really just going to jump on board with, doesn't matter. That's what we're going to do, and they're going to accept it. They're going to say we're eating good, and they're going to say that I'm cooking. So don't worry. No matter what I give them, they're going to say I'm cooking. To me, if you're asking BC, Damage Control got even more damaged when Sonya's group attacked them. You can't tell me they're any more better now as supposed faces out of nowhere than they were after they beat those faces and got out-heeled. I'm giving you guys one example after another, guys. When I say it's the ultimate truth you're going to get in this community, it is, because it's all facts. I'm not giving you any opinions, guys. That would be a whole day of opinions I can give you. I'm just giving you the facts. Dave Mealy. We were about to end the stream about 5 minutes ago, but you brought up a great point, great conversation, so we kept going another 5 minutes. Dave, appreciate you, bro. Raging to end us off on a 2-hour plus stream. I love you, my man. But dude, when I say much love and respect, I mean that wholeheartedly. You guys made this a lot more fun when I was like, damn, 0 minutes of notice. The tube just went live out of nowhere when I wasn't quite ready. There was 0 people in here because it just went live. And throughout, we had hundreds live. We already have 200 on the ups, man. You guys were rocking out in the chat. That is how powerful this unit is. I love it. So Ragin is going to end it the right way on a $2 super chat coffee. Thanks for the stream, BC. I got to dip out. Check you. That is the 5th ever super chat from Ragin, by the way. So I got to give a 5-time salute to Ragin. Ragin. 5th super chat. Thanks for the stream, BC. Got to dip out. Check you. I got to dip out as well, Ragin. So I say right now, all of the unit dips out. We take care of what we have to for the rest of the weekend. Monday Night Raw is tomorrow. The review for Raw within 24 hours afterwards. Maybe we can do it live. Oh, no, I don't think I can do it live. I don't know, man. Stay subscribed and notified. You'll get the Raw review. My hope is that I can catch No Mercy at some point and do a little review for you guys tomorrow. Maybe not that in-depth, but don't worry. In the comments, Jer9 will have the NXT No Mercy roundup. So you'll get a double-decker. You get BC's thoughts on it. You'll have Jer9's in the comments. So hopefully I can get that out to you guys, man. I would like to catch that in some realm. Much love and respect until next time. And there will be that next time. Top guys, we're all BC in the unit. Saying check you. Peace. Anybody want to go long? Or does nobody want to run on a Sunday? I don't blame you. But if anybody wants to go long, man. No. Ain't nobody running, man. Cosmic is starting to run a slant. Okay, Marie. Look at Marie going for that Hail Mary. Marie's just going on an old school vertical Hail Mary. I love it. JR9 crisscrossing with Joseph Ramos. Stegmeister and Justine going on the same route, man. You guys are going to have to fight for the ball. All right, here we go. Salute, guys. Thank you. That's it. Hold on. There.